Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Thanks very much for tuning in. It has been such a long time since I've been considering getting my cameras out to Cabramatta in the southwest region of Sydney in New South Wales, Australia. Such a vibrant and eclectic culture out there with their eateries, markets, just a fascinating place to be. It's been a long while since I've been there. I've never shot there in my life, so I thought this time it was a beautiful, sunny, a little bit of cloud, but generally speaking, a sunny Saturday morning in winter. Beautiful conditions. So out I went with my Fujifilm X-Pro3 camera with the Fujifilm 18mm f2 lens. I've put this little montage together made up of stills and B-roll of just the general scene, just establishing shots, and then I'll check back in with you later and talk about how I made my way around to the fish market area and what I saw and how I shot the images there. Check in with you later. So I made my way around into this side street where the large car park was and the fish market, an absolute abundance of people. And I just took my time here taking some establishing shots and looking around to see where the light was falling and how I could create some more interesting images using both light and shadow. The sun, as you could see, was falling beautifully into this street. And it was just worthwhile just taking a few minutes to just work out exactly how I was going to do this. I absolutely love scenes like these. There was this golden strip of light running straight down the curb. Everything underneath the canvas awning there by the fish market was in relative shadow, and then on the opposite side of the street where the car park and eateries were, that was a lot of shadow. And so this golden strip of light running straight down the curb, and with the people moving along the curb and hopping on and off the curb, coming away from the market area or entering the market area, it enabled me to play with shadow and plenty of contrast and beautiful golden light all at the same time. So in scenes like these, with a wide-angle lens like the Fujifilm 18mm f2, which is essentially a 27-28mm full-frame equivalent, you can get in relatively close, and by default you are going to be able to create depth by using layers because there are so many people in the scene and so much going on. And what will happen more often than not is it will allow you to enable the characters to move over to the left and right edges of the frame. So there's either movement or implied movement. And for me, that creates tension in a frame in a good way. By that I mean that Your eyes will move left and right and left within the frame, looking around at the people right on the edges. And I embrace that kind of imperfection because, as I said, it's a much more interesting frame rather than having one, two, maybe three characters close enough to the center of the frame and not enough going on the edges. Because if there's nothing going on at the edges, the people viewing the photograph will tend to look left or right after a while, and then there's nothing, and then their interest tends to drop off. So here's some examples of the same scene, but this time I changed the aperture and shutter speed to a point where I was able to allow more of the scene to fall into shadow. This time the golden light was used in a manner where I could make a particular character in the scene the star of the image and set them up in a way where they were the ones being largely well lit and everything else beside them was either partially lit or deeply into shadow. I love the way that that plays out, particularly when there are rich, vibrant colours like the woman's red bag and the orange outfit of the monk coming out of the inside part of the market there. Also the gentleman on the left with the shopping trolley. That's what I meant earlier on when I said it creates tension when you have some characters over on the far side of the frame. You can see that he's pulling the trolley, but he's looking back over his left shoulder to see what was going on beside him, so that's implying movement. You don't recognise that often when you see something like that in the frame, but trust me, that's what your mind and your eye is thinking. You are looking at that person because he's moving on the left side of the frame, but because he's looking back, subconsciously you want to know what he's looking back at. And again, I think that creates a lot of intrigue in an image. So there you go, Cabramatta in Sydney southwest with the Fujifilm X-Pro3 camera and 18mm f2 lens. Hope you enjoyed the content. If you did, maybe hit the like button and leave some comments below. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you next time.